Welcome in. You're listening to the Morning Grind, KAZI. We are ready to start that Friday. I hope you guys have some good things on tap for this Friday. You know the weather's going to be good? Okay. I want to make sure you know it's going to be good. If you were in a hole and nobody told you, it's going to be good. You're supposed to be out, up in it. This is your chance. I want to see. We got a few topics. We're going to have some guests in studio today, so it's going to be a busy day. Some of the things that I'm very curious about here. Dapper D in the building for you today. Do women really like edible arrangements? I mean, I got to know. We just made it through Valentine's Day, and I just want to know who pulled up with a strawberry on a stick? who had someone pierce a pineapple, and then your thing said that was amazing. I just want to know, is edible arrangements a thing that you can do? And I want to know when you do reach out. That's at 512-836-2887. I'm going to have some questions for you because I'm going to need to know some demographics because I want to then know who's pulling that off, who is trying that. So we'll get into that. If someone offered you $100,000 to stay in a pitch black room for 12 hours without food or water, would you do it? $100,000. 12 hours, no food, no water. We're going to get into that. Now, this one is a pretty simple question. Pancakes or waffles? Yeah. It's 7:32 in the morning. Some of y'all got to make this decision. I just want to know. Pancakes or waffles? We'll see. If you have all the money in the world, where would you travel first? Yeah, all the money in the world, not alone. You're not even staying in hostels. You don't have to backpack across Europe. You got it. When you swipe that card, you ain't even got to bat an eye. You ain't got to think about it. You just know, this gonna work. This good. We good right here. You ain't got to decide when you go into that wallet which one you're going to pull out. Whatever you pull out is good to go. So you're going to have the best of the best. So what you going to do? Stay in the West? Or maybe you'll head east? I don't know. But you will let me know. 512-836-2887. We'll go over a couple more of these topics. It's Black History Month. I got to hit you with a black fact, courtesy of one of my fraternity brothers' websites. He put this together. I'm very proud of that brother. He went to MIT in the 80s. What? Came out of Brooklyn. Man, matter of fact, we probably should just do a black fact about that brother. He like the brown Bill Gates. Another question. Wine or Grey Goose? It's all right. You know what you sipping on. I just curious. When you have to choose between the two, what you going with? And for my fellas out there, if your brother's trying to talk to a 10 out of 10, but her big San Antonio 2 out of 10 friend comes over to try and stop him, are you taking the bullet so he can keep going? Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. Your wingman duties, I'm calling those into question. I want to know, you going to step up or you going to step away? I said 2 out of 10. Hey, make sure you got all your facts straight when you call. Oh, I thought you said 8. Nah, man, 2 out of 10. Don't do no math and end up with you thought I said 8 out of. Nope, 2 out of 10. The friend is a 10 out of 10 though. But you got to help your boy. You got to throw him a lifeline. We got a mix by DJ Wiz. You listen to the Morning Grind, KZI. Yeah, that was nice. He had me, the Mr. Big Stuff, that heavy D, man. anything Heavy D always puts me in the right mood. I'm gonna tell you, matter of fact, I got a topic about that we'll come back to a little bit later, but Dapper D, Heavy D, I go with it all. I mean, this is the most I've ever weighed, but I don't think I'm alone out there. I think we all working with it. Hey, this pandemic weight, can I still say that? Can I still say I'm holding that pandemic pounds, pandemic poundage? Let's just say maybe when I had to stay up in the crib, I was laced a little too nice. While y'all was out there running, trying to get the last little bit of toilet paper. I'm a military man. Let's just say I've been around some cultures that it ain't that important for the toilet paper. Maybe I was going for the caviar, maybe some steaks. Now I'm hungry. Anybody got any T-bone steaks, eggs with Welch's great right now? Anybody doing that right out there? Okay, well, we'll find out. We're going to have a beautiful guest in studio with us here shortly. That's going to be at the top of the hour. So let's get back to a couple of those topics. Do women really like edible arrangements? I mean, I got to know. You know, I got some friends out there that ain't booed up, and they may just want to have the opportunity to draw some attention from someone of the opposite. And I want to give them good advice. I want to know what they could do. See, the rules is different. When you are in a good place, your rules is different from everyone out there that has to kill to eat. You know, what did I just tell you about the pandemic poundage? You know what I mean? So some people had to get out there and beat the streets. And some of us was behind a keyboard or a monitor. You know, life is different. So I just want to know, would you take that edible arrangements to that person? 512-836-2887. You'll call in. I'll put you on the air. We'll get your opinion on some of these. All right, now, if someone offered you $100,000 to stay in a pitch black room for 12 hours without food, without water, would you do it? $100,000. Now, listen, some people would say yes right away, but you got to understand, if you say yes, you stuck. So whether you can or cannot successfully do it, you stuck up in there. Nobody bringing you out. And then when you come out, you're going to be happy. You're going to say, oh, yeah, I did it. And you're $100,000 richer. I'm trying to, I guess I am trying to convince you to do it. Because you just got to do it. No food, no water. 12 hours, man, felt like this was easy for me. Go without food for 12 hours. Have y'all ever been in church with my mama? Man, we'd be there for early Sunday morning service. We early. We out there wiping dew off the windows of the church. We there so early. And then you got a couple services back to back. Everybody going out to eat, but you got to stay after. We got some choir practice. We got the kids choir practice. And if you play an instrument, you definitely ain't going nowhere. Before you know it, it's about 6, 7 o'clock at night. And I'm finally walking up out that church. Ugh. So you ain't scaring me with the 12 hours, no food. Did that. Some of y'all churchgoers, you ever fast before? You ever did that 3-day fast? Yeah, you looking at 12 hours. And I mean, isn't that what life is about? It's about perspective. And if you got the perspective, if you done been through something, then that ain't nothing. You know, I've been through something, and that ain't nothing. That's how it works. I got somebody out there that understands what I'm saying. Caller, are you there?
Yes.
How are you?
Good, I'm good.
So, was it a topic? Did you have your own topic? You live on the air. What is popping today?
Well, I didn't really have anything, topic, but I was responding to your $100,000 for 12 hours in the dark.
Ooh. So what would you do? Would you do it?
I think I could do it because, you want to think about the variables you want to eat. before you get in there, maybe stay awake a while so that once you get in there, you can go to sleep.
Yeah.
You want to drink enough water.
Yeah.
And, if there's no toilets or anything like that, that could happen. So you need to be prepared for that in the dark.
Yes, you do.
And I think that if you eat before you go in there and drink enough fluids and then go to sleep, I think you'll come out on the good end.
See, you are prepared. You sound like a thinker. You sound like a planner. I like it because you made me think of some things. Remember some years ago there was this lady, I think she was like an astronaut, and she drove a few hours, committed a crime, and then tried to drive back. And how did she drive straight? Because she wore a diaper, an adult diaper. I felt like when you said that, you made me
I'll put on a diaper.
Yes.
That's definitely a diaper.
That popped into my head. You know what? If I get this challenge, let me holler at you. Let me make sure you get me prepared. I mean, that's good.
You make sure you call me because I'm down.
You got to be worth a manager's fee or something like 8%, 10%. You got to get something off of my cut because you sound like you're going to have me prepared and ready.
We're going to win. Okay?
Okay, well then, while I got you, before I let you go, do women really like edible arrangements?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so that's still working.
All the way down. They like it all the way down. They do.
Okay. All right. What about one more? One more. Pancakes or waffles?
Huh?
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes or what? Pancakes because they're more softer and fluffy.
Look at you. You are a planner and you're a woman who can make up her mind quick. You ain't even hesitate. You said, I got it. I just need to hear you, brother. Yeah, that's that mid-Atlantic twang I got in my voice. But, hey, let everybody know your name so we can thank you for calling in.
Well, they call me Nurse Dean, and I thank you for answering my call.
Oh, well, I thank you for calling and being part of the show. Nurse Dean, have a great rest of the day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now, for all the medical professionals out there, if your name ain't Nurse Dean, I don't want nothing to do with you. Nurse Dean, you can help me out at any time. That lady looked like she got it together. The doctor come up into that room and check with Nurse Dean before they check with they medical books. Nurse Dean looked like she gonna make me feel all right. My leg could be hanging off. I could be looking out of one eye. The room could be spinning. I don't care. Nurse Dean walk up in there and say, hey man, what you doing? She gonna call me right on down. I'm gonna do whatever she say. Any amount of shots, any amount of medicine, you just tell me, Nurse Dean, where I gotta be, where I gotta lay, and what's on the TV. I'm gonna be there all day. Matter of fact, y'all might have to run me up out that hospital because I'm staying, because Nurse Dean sound like she better than some of the friends I've had in my life since the 90s. I mean, Nurse Dean, you call back anytime. And then, not only is Nurse Dean an amazing person, she got that home training. She is such a hospitable person. Naturally, she thanked for being on the air. Appreciate that. Hey, everybody don't get in. But when you get in, when you get on, you got to put it on. Nurse Dean did it. Thank you for the call. That was great. That's what we talking about. The listeners, it's about y'all, man. You could be a part of the show. What do you think we giving out the number? 512-836-28874. I ain't giving it out to my mama. I would never let my mom know the number to call this show. I do not want my mama calling this show. Like ever. If my mama called this show, one, I ain't on the show, and two, I want to know the family member that gave her the phone number because y'all wrong. You know what she gonna do to me, and now the rest of the world gonna hear my mama live on the air. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I was trying to deactivate something. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I am doing great. Thanks for asking. And how are you doing this Friday morning?
I'm doing fine and trying to prepare to go and do early voting.
Oh, I like it. You you prepared as well. You got you. Are you sure you're not Nurse Dean's cousin? Sister?
No. I'm far from Nurse Dean.
I like it. So what was your motivations? Tell us a little bit about that. What drives you out there to go and make sure that you're ready to vote?
Well, because this is a very serious election this year.
Yeah.
I'm not wanting to see this battle between Trump and Biden that the media just keeps pushing. I feel like they're taking the voters for granted that this is how it's going to be. You know, that's why we have early elections, so we decide who's going to be on that ballot for presidency, not the media and not this great duel or rematch of these last opponents there.
I wish I didn't have to go to break. We don't have much longer because you this is going to be great. I can tell you this then. I can definitely bring this topic back because there's so much I'd like to say about that. And I feel like you gave us an amazing public service announcement. Just as we need, some of these people need these reminders. They may not know the importance. And, well, you did that for us today. Thank you for calling in.
Yes.
What's your name before we go?
My name is Monica, and I think I'm going to support Dean Phillips. It sounds like the man for me.
Hey, it sounds like you got a plan, and I'm glad.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Have a great rest of the day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, I mean, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Get up, get out, go vote. You can't be a sidewalk politician, and I'm tired of the barbershop politicians. And if you want your voice to be heard, you got to go vote. That's what the lady said. You listen to The Morning Grind, KAZI, top of the morning to ya. You're listening to KAZI 88.7 FM, Austin, Texas. You know where we are. You know what we about. And if you don't, well, keep listening. Then you're going to learn. And thank you for joining us because clearly it's your first time and you don't know what the morning grind and how we put it down. So I am glad that you're here. I got some of those grandmama mints right over here. It's in a jar. I know they all clumped together. I said the grandmamas, but I'm just trying to show you a little hospitality. Thank you for joining us at the morning grind. I'm going to tell you a little bit about your weather today. You know, this is how people get distracted. So I was about to go to my computer and I was about to tell you a little bit about what the Weather Channel says, and then a KFC ad had to pop up. Why they had to do that to me? Come on, man, they distracted me. All right, we're gonna have 76 for a high today. Plentiful sunshine. Y'all heard that? Plentiful sunshine. I hear the sister in the back give me the amen. She is happy about that. Winds out of north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Okay, wait, hold on now. Now, I wore a hat out. I don't have it on right now in the studio. It's going to come back on because we got a fashionista with us, and I want to make sure she see me at 100%. But 10 to 15 miles per hour, make sure whatever you got on top of that head, stay in that one spot. That's a little bit of wind right there. Tonight, we're going to get down to 49, partly cloudy. Winds are going to be light and variable. And if you out there on them streets, let me tell you, over on Kovar Road, the road is closed due to flooding. That's both ways. That's FM 535 to Zimmerhansel Road. Sounds like somewhere in the Alps. New Hope Drive has a crash. That's New Hope Drive at US 183. Texas 1 Loop, we have a stalled vehicle and the shoulder is blocked. That's Texas 1 Loop, Mopac Boulevard southbound at Mopac Service Road. And that is it, people. That's the incident. Y'all doing it Black History Month. Brothers is driving nice right now. He said, hey, you ain't gonna mess with me right now. I got the black ice hanging from the rearview mirror. Brothers is out there, they ain't distracted or nothing right now. So we're going to talk a little bit today. We have a very special guest. Her name is Michelle Washington, and she's in studio. We're going to do a little social media pic. She's beautiful. She is a fashion representative and looks the part. So y'all are going to enjoy that. Miss Washington, how are you doing today?
I am doing blessed and highly favored. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. When you showed up to the studio and I went out there and I was like, this is what I'm working with today.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's unfair to everybody because some people have that radio voice. You got everything. They missing out. They only getting like 1/10 of you.
Well, let me show up for the rest. Hey, beautiful people. It is the trendsetter of talk, the couture connoisseur, and I'm here to talk about all things fierce and fabulous.
Wait. Y'all see that, right? Y'all, okay, they excited. I know they excited. I'm excited. And we're going to get right into it. So we're going to talk a little bit we're talking about black fashion. Huh, Michelle?
Yes, through the history of black fashion.
Okay, tell us a little bit about it. I'm going to do a switch because I know Miss Marlah, there's plenty she want to say about this. So kind of take us through your thought process and how we started with this.
Well, black culture has been setting trends and breaking barriers and leaving a mark that's hotter than the summer sun. I'm talking about the soulful swagger of the 70s, the bold prints and colors of African heritage, and the fierce attitude that says, I'm here, I'm fabulous, and I ain't apologizing for it. Oh yeah. Now this is also where we want to basically deep dive into the fascinating intersection of culture and fashion, particularly focusing on the profound influence of black community throughout history. Do you feel me? Do you see what I'm saying here?
Oh, I understand, and I'm gonna say, would I make you mad if during our time talking today I refer to black fashion as swag, drip, fit? Is all that still good? Because I feel like those are things that are out of the vernacular, and that's just kind of, again, to what you're saying is we transcend not only in what we show but in how we describe. I mean, I feel like it's like its own thing. But do any of those terms offend you? Because you are a lady of fashion.
And I'm also a GQ insider.
Oh, did not know that.
Yes, and my official title is TV style expert. So you've seen me on multiple channels.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've been watching. Hopefully.
Well, I cannot confirm nor deny that after this I will be checking, because we gonna pass along her socials to everybody to make sure that you guys can get a little taste of what me and Miss Marlah get to enjoy now. Miss Marlah, did you set this up? Is this? You brought Miss Washington?
What? Oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, this is a wonderful queen here, and you know I'm all about celebrating.
Yes, ma'am.
Kings and queens.
Oh, queen to queen. Queen to queen.
This is my favorite time of the year. One of, I should say.
Yeah.
February and then July, and and so I wanted to talk about that, just how we have been influencing fashion for a long time, y'all. Mm-hmm. For a long time. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Even in history, because we sometimes we have to deal with the pain of some history also.
Yeah.
So I look back and I seen the history of where one of them Europeans went on down there and up in Africa, right? So they see a group of people, a tribe, called whatever, and they see this woman with these hips. She was like fascinated about these hips. She was like, oh my goodness. Wow, look how her body is shaped.
I know where you're going.
They take her back to Europe, they, exploit her, do all of that about these hips that's coming out of that small waistline, right? To the point where, it's almost abuse, and it was abuse. And just lately, about maybe few years ago, that the estate of this woman have her remains in the museum that is now in Africa. But if you look back there in some of them times and how those dresses was made.
Yeah. How they poofed out. Yeah.
Purposely kind of poofed out at the waist, giving them this kind of hip type of fashion. Okay.
Where they get that from? Because clearly there wasn't a physical representation like that in the European circles. But then, it did pop off, and I'm glad you said that, because it gives us an understanding of that look. Mm-hmm. Man, that's good.
In civil rights movement, we call you dapper.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm sorry, in order for us to stand out, some of those marches and things, we wore our Sunday best.
Yeah.
We may know what that is for some of us, what Sunday best. It's when we out there. Yeah. So, you know, even the children when we training, because yes, we can be comfortable, but it was a purpose back then, and they just had a little pride and they wanted to outshine. So, you know, men was in their suits and women was in their Sunday best out there working. They ain't had no Nikes and Skechers.
Oh no. You also didn't want your mama to see you. That's what you went to the march in?
Well, don't forget about the iconic hairstyles. That is all about our heritage.
Yes.
We're talking about from the afros to the cornrows to the braids.
Yes.
These styles are not just about aesthetics. They're about reclaiming cultural identity and celebrating natural beauty. And the braids and the twists that celebrate our roots and our resilience.
Come on now.
That's it. That's what we're talking about.
That's why and it's a shame that we had to have that crown act, because they keep throwing it in my face about my poor nephew. I don't even know him, but I'm just claiming him. Well, that's still going through it. His hair's so beautiful. They keep it all nice and neat. Yeah. I can see if he was up in there looking like I would have wanted him to look like a mountain man with them a Rastafarian locks flying from everywhere point of his head. I would have liked it to be it's all nice and neat and stuff, and they're still tripping. So, but you know, I digress. Because then, you know, we go from culture to culture, because even though we may we celebrate 50 years of hip hop, and look how that has influenced the world.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you know, from every little generation, it has influenced the world. You know what I'm saying?
Not just the world. Well, the world is a big place.
Yeah.
So the world, many cultures, and generation after generation. Let's not forget the trailblazing black designers who have shattered the barrier.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And redefined the industry. Names like Elizabeth Keckley.
Yep. I know about her.
In the 1800s, she was the personal dressmaker and confidant of Mary Todd Lincoln. And you know that name, Lincoln.
Yeah. First lady.
And then we had Anne Lowe. Now, she designed Jacqueline Bouvier's wedding dress in the 1953. Now, people are like, Michelle, who's Jacqueline Bouvier? I know who knows Bouvier.
I know.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, class. Raise your hand.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm going to just give you 3 letters. JFK.
There you go.
Yeah.
You said it. But isn't it a shame that Jacqueline, of course, after marriage, Kennedy left Anne Lowe's name out of the press when it was time to give her credit. And Anne Lowe is now considered a master couturier with a one-woman show in Washington and not allowed to enjoy the fruits of her labor.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Never received the credit.
Never.
That's why we giving it to her now.
Come on, Jack.
We have to.
Her techniques was so signature and delicate, they are having trouble trying to replicate the work of this master couturier, black designer.
But this lady been doing it. We talking 100 years ago, and they still can't. They ain't working with what she was working with.
She was that masterful.
From the 20s to the 60s. She did their wedding dress.
Yeah, and also she took no less than high-profile clients.
Yeah.
Wow.
And low, but the price ain't. If that's your clientele, okay.
Now, I got one you'll enjoy. Zelda Wynn Valdez.
Yes.
Credited for designing the original Playboy bunny waitress costume.
Yes. I actually probably been about 2 weeks old when I found that one out. I just found that out. Yup.
Well, I'm a Kappa office. I'm in a fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and we don't officially use the Playboy emblem, but known to be.
Lord help us.
So yeah, I can appreciate that. You are correct, ma'am.
I got another one for you. Brother Stephen Burrows. Now, he was a designer in the late 60s and 70s. We're talking about colorful color blocking, knit designs. And he was the only black designer featured in the Battle of Versailles, November 28th, 1973. That was a showdown on the runway that the Americans took home the accolades.
Wow.
He was the 70s disco guy too. Like his outfits, like that genre, and the elite. Like that was I know about Brother Burroughs. Brother Burroughs.
That Studio 54.
Yes, ma'am. God, you bringing it.
Well, he brought it in Paris.
No, I'm just glad I opened the door to you, though. Because, you never know. I thought you selling some beauty products that clearly you use. So either way, I would have opened the door and thrown some money at you if I could look like you. But I didn't know you was bringing all this.
See, that's that new charm coming.
See, yeah,
the new charm.
What it is.
You say it.
You peeped it, girlfriend.
Well, I am.
Here we go.
Pink and green.
Trailblazers.
We have Founders Day up in here.
Trailblazers.
Oh Lord, I was like,
That's all right. I told him she was pretty. I told him. I did the listening audience. I just wanted them to have some imagery with the voice that's coming out. But okay.
Miss Marlah, get him. Get him, Miss Marlah, get him.
So when we talk a little bit about some of the most influential, when I bring up people like Kimora Lee Simmons, when I bring up Dapper Dan, those are individuals. To your same point, without the historical context, we know that Dapper Dan has been putting it down for years. And him to finally get his due came well after the fact. We are aware of that. What say you when it comes to those that stayed the course? Because you know how easy it would be to just say, "Hey, I got to make a living. I got to go do some other things," and give up on it. So what say you about those pioneers, those trailblazers, if you will? I got to give the call back to keep pushing forward.
Dapper Dan didn't give up because he knew that he was serving a niche market.
Yes.
And this is something in marketing terms and even fashion marketing terms that he knew before it became a whole vibe, a whole mood, a whole blip on the chart. With Dapper Dan, he said, okay, there is hip-hop, and our hip-hop artists are not getting in the doors to the luxury labels to be able to borrow or buy what they need because, we don't want to be on, y'all, the hip-hop. See, they didn't get it then. They didn't get it then.
I know.
But Dapper Dan knew. So, okay, he had to, do a little Frankenstein and with some brands and resew and restitch. We won't go into all that controversy.
Yeah.
Controversy.
Then I'll just state that the brother made it. 2017, Gucci partnered with him.
Yes.
So he finally got it. I mean, that's a little too late. But he opened that fashion line with Gucci, and he opened a second store that he has. Of course, he's got Dapper Dan's of Harlem. For those who are going to take any trips to New York, you got to roll through. You got to check it out. But yeah, I'm Dapper D, and one day I'd like to have a legacy like Mr. Dapper Dan.
Well, just know he's also doing something with The Gap. He has his own line with The Gap.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well then, you got me Gap watching. Then I'm gonna have to I'm gonna fall into the Gap. I'm gonna go check them out because those are also good prices for me.
See?
So I can start there and then I'll go to Gucci later. You see what I saved there? I didn't want her to think that I couldn't go to the Gucci.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna fill up the cart with Gap stuff first, and then just like one item for Gucci.
Well,
remember FUBU?
Oh yeah. FUBU, baby. Yeah, for us, by us.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, cross colors. Hey.
Yes, and cross. Come on. Oh, what's wrong?
That's my generation. That's my generation. Let's do it. That was some formative years for me.
Wow.
Those were the college years.
Did you know that Barbie, now that Barbie is popular again, she's doing matchup cross promotions with brands? She did a nice little set with cross colors.
Wow.
Oh,
nice.
Barbie's wearing cross colors.
I tell you, if you go to Chicago, you'll still find people wearing Pelly Pal.
Yeah.
Seriously, I was like, oh, well, this designer is living off of Chicago right here, because they still rocking it.
Yeah.
Seriously, you know how you go to different places, and we have so many different black cultures around the United States. I love it. I was like, oh wow, we still rocking Pelly Pal. I have been down here for 20 years. I hadn't seen anybody rocking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our culture will forever be ingrained in the fashion foundation and history. People look to the streets for the latest beats of what is the trend. Exactly. So hey, look no further. Look no further than this room.
Just like when we take it across the waters to the mother country, how some of the designs and some of like the popular LV was stolen from an African tribe.
Yes. Lay it down.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yes. It was from West Africa, and it was the Quili tribe. They've also taken, remember when they start coming out with the plaids and the block colors? Those are part of the Maasai in the Kenya. When they dress, the men will have on red plaid that looks like blankets. Yeah. Remember they took those. They kind of put that in fashion. So there have been major names that have taken things that was from Africa and put it into there, and we spend all the money on these designer names. You know what I'm saying? And oh my goodness, just you wonder about the culture that in West Africa, thinking about that LV. Yeah. That's part of us thing. So yeah, it's a whole lot to go and research and to see. That's why I was like, we have influenced fashion for a long time. For eons, we have been the trendsetters.
Lady Michelle, to her point, Ebony, Jet Magazine. I know when I was a kid, when that publication came to the house,
come on,
I'm checking for them outfits. I'm checking to see what's smooth. My dad used that. I'm Dapper D, but I told you my government, I am the second. I am a copy of the original, and I still think my dad did it best. He had that Billy D. He used to comb all that stuff to the back, and then he had a full mustache. I don't know where them jeans went from me. I blame my mama for that, but we'll get back to mama later. I believe that there was a little bit of that. I believe that the streets were watching our Ebony and our Jet Magazine. Do you think that also is historically something that was influential?
Absolutely. We needed to see ourselves in magazines.
Yes.
We were buying magazines and looking at culture that wasn't us. When you're doing a selling platform, you need to know that you're selling to the people.
Yes.
And when you're selling to the people do not look like just one perspective.
Thank you. Right. Thank you.
Thank you for the Ebony. Thank you for the essence. Thank you for the Jet. Yes, I'm dating myself.
No, we all. My cousin used to be a photographer, and I would always look at the bottom. Oh, look, there's her name, and she'll be taking stars, And I'm right in Chicago, so the publication, the company was there. Oh. You drive down Lakeshore Drive going downtown, and you see Johnson & Johnson at that time. You see the building, and then don't have a friend of your mother's who works. We had every art, the cocktail table had all the Jet.
Oh yeah, I don't
And
think
then we had the Ebony's, you know. But then my grandmother had souvenir.
Oh yeah,
I had to check what those. It was a souvenir MLK. When you know, so things like that become prices like collector.
Yeah.
You know, but so yeah, you know, I remember my cousins going to the middle of the Jet to see who's gonna be that model.
I knew it.
A lot of young brothers out
Who's
there.
gonna be the model in that middle one?
Hopefully it comes in the mail while Mama's at work, so I can get the full gander before Mama gets her. Hey, Ma, you know your thing is in. I'm sitting on your bag because I know you want to be the first one to get to it. But there's a good crease right there at that.
But Ms. Marlah, it was like it showed our culture.
Yeah.
It was us.
Yeah.
You know, because we were coming from a thing of conditioning that only the beautiful look like this, that the beautiful look like that. You know, that these beauty pageants didn't have. Now that's why we were colored back in the day, because our skin, our shades of colors, the different shades of browns that we have, you know, but we didn't have now color, now one in those. So we had, okay. So we had to, you know, we had to have something of our own where we could feel like we belong somewhere. Don't we belong here? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. We birthed the earth, so you know, I know we do, but you know, we had to get that mentality and have to break that down. You know, I'm still fighting when people talking about some good hair, bad hair.
Oh,
I was like, no, there's no such thing. And please stop saying that.
No.
That, you know, I get all kooky crazy when you say that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You say what? Well, she got that good hair. Don't everybody have that good hair?
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to love yourself just a little bit more. I'm gonna need you to love it. I love now that I can look at commercials and see natural hair.
Yes.
Natural hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I do.
Don't make Miss Marlah snap, crackle, and pop.
But I am though. I am gonna push her on one thing, Lady Michelle. She said collector's items. She know good and well Sister Jenkins NM, Sister Johnson NM, they still got them Jet magazines and Ebony's from 1982. How many old church sisters you can go over to their house right now and they still got the full collection? In order for it to be prices like she's referring to, people gotta let them go. I think it was blasphemy. This may be cultural. Ain't nobody ever throw away Ebony or Jet. We never throw it away. I think we all kept them. So how they gonna be priceless, Ms. Marlah? Because everybody got them. Your cousins got them. My cousins got them.
The collector items aren't just regular. They're regular articles. They're putting more photos.
Uh-huh.
They're different. They're not the same like everything.
All right.
You actually paid more and you had to go get that. You didn't just get it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you didn't just get it. Like the one that had that was about from MLK.
Yeah.
It was gold. The type
God.
It was a golden. Yeah, it was.
But y'all, we need to take a step back to the important drop in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You said church. All right. Church. Now let's talk about the for real fashion runway. Going down that aisle in the front row. And Lord, I can't see the preacher for your hat. If you take them feathers down a little bit,
And she won't.
bend your neck to the side at least. And when it is time, because we haven't stopped fashioning out the churches, to go and give your offering, and you take that center aisle.
You strut.
You strut.
You better strut that dress.
Well, when you a kid, you can't wait for the good Holy Ghost to get Sister Wilkins, because when she buck and that hat finally fall off, you like good, and she sit down later on.
Happy Friday. You are on the morning grind.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello. Hi. Happy Friday. You're on the morning grind.
Well, good morning to you, Miss Marlah Douglas. And I think what's the other lady's name?
Michelle Washington.
Rochelle Washington.
Michelle, like Michelle Obama.
Michelle Washington. How y'all doing down there?
Awesome. We are discussing blackness and beautiful blackness and history. And, you know, we got to put that history out there.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
I am okay. It's a Friday. Give God the glory.
You
You know, black history. Now, we didn't come on the boats from Africa. Our forefathers and mothers came on the boat to America. And where they put us
in the southern states of these United States to serve as their inhumane slaves on their plantations, raise their crops, raise their children, work the field, feed the animals. White man doing what he want to do with the black woman and killing our families. So when you look at yourself in America, you're a black America. Hey, yes, it's Black History Month, but we're humans every day. Just don't take it for granted because you're able to wear those high expensive shoes and those nice clothes and live in a nice home, that you're there because somebody bled and died for us to have this freedom. So wake up. Black history is a very important thing. And it's so sad that the white man choose to take it out of our universities and our classrooms, that we can't learn about history because they are so hurt. They're so insulted, but they want to go back to the way it was when they were young. They want to go back where the black man, yes, sir, master. Yes, sir. I'm going to do that. Yes, sir. You better do it.
Here's the thing. And I hear your pain and I feel your pain, sister. That's why we can celebrate. Mm-hmm. It's about celebrating who we are because we know where we come from. Yes. We don't let none of that bring us down. Not even some politician trying to tell me or my people how to teach our own history. That is the reason why we have this platform here today. Yep. I need my people not to be down. Not to hold that and look back that and still have a depressed pain about that. That should be your leverage of why you should walk with pride. That even if you have to go get your shoes from Wally World or wherever, you fashionable. Even if you have to make your thing, because that's what we're talking about. People who had nothing and has become something, that their names now resonate in our history for just the shoes that they designed, for the clothes that they designed, from other than when we were slaves and we had to wear those drab clothes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We brought color because that's what we are. We come from colors. Our different tribes from the motherland. West Africa may have red and yellow. We have green there. We have black. And we brought those back in. And that's why we have to celebrate our history. And yes, it's going to be some pain. But from every pain, we're going to grow and we're going to heal. But we can't keep that pain and just wallow in it. We got to understand how to heal. And healing is celebrating and celebrating who you are. Because I'm so proud to be a black woman. You just don't know. I love being black.
Amen. We stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah, and we got to take a break. We'll be right back. So round these neck of the woods, we'll play some Beyonce on our radio station. NPR did an article and they talking about some of those stations that didn't play Beyonce, but it sounded like they wanted to call her another name, say what they didn't play on their radio station. I just know number one on the Billboard in country. Still a black woman pushing to do her thing. You know what I'm saying?
Just think of what she would have charted had she had the inclusivity of all of the stations. She still did those numbers.
Wow.
And she didn't get it.
We were talking about celebrating blackness, celebrating us, celebrating our history, our culture, how fashion has influenced. Miss Charlene, you still there?
I've been here, but I got disconnected.
Okay. All right. Okay, go ahead and give your point. You got 1 minute.
You said fashion. That is not going to be the point. What they're trying to do to us.
But this is what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about anything else but how we celebrate. And we need you to be positive. If you ain't got nothing to say about what we're talking about, then why should I even bring you back home?
And I remember slavery. I worked the field and picked cotton one
day. You remember slavery? You that old?
I remember picking cotton.
But that's not slavery. By that time, you was out of slavery.
But my sister worked every day, my oldest sister, and that heat is something else.
Yes.
I had a nosebleed.
That's why for a while I wouldn't even wear cotton. I wanted to rebel against cotton.
Yeah. Oh, I know plenty of people.
I wanted to rebel against cotton because when I seen a real cotton field, I went to go put my hand in it to go pick the cotton. I cut myself.
Yep.
I was like, my people used to pick this and get paid nothing.
The system is rigged. In other words, I'm going to just close it with this here. The young girl, because she was non-boundary in Ohio, they had a fight in the restroom, and she died the next day. And you know what the police department stated? It said it was nothing, it wasn't the fault of the death. Now, I want to know how the police department can say this if it's not gone to the medical examiner to examine that young girl, because you don't know when they hit her. She might have had something bleeding internally that we didn't know. Now, they felt like they could go into that restroom and abuse that young girl because she felt to live her life the way she wanted to live. They should be held accountable. But this is what the police department has been doing all over the nation.
And let's remember, and I appreciate you. We're going to have to cut you off now because our guest has to go.
Right and wrong.
You're right. You're right.
Every day.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
That's right.
To God be the glory. Y'all be blessed.
You too. Love you. Because, I'm sorry, the police were created to police the slaves when they were trying to run away. So that's where policing started from. It just moved up just a little bit more. So to get that mentality out, I mean, we can't go and brainwash all of them, but at least we do have some people in trying to work this kind of stuff and expose. That's the thing. We have to keep exposing the things that's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Karis one most famously said, overseer, officer. Right. Officer from overseer.
Exactly.
I mean, what? He broke it down. Lady Michelle, you can judge me, but I gotta know, what if I think I am in another black fashion era? You know, maybe I don't understand. I'm in 2024 because I'm telling you, Cab Calloway and his signature white tailcoat.
Come on.
I got a white tailcoat. I do. Well, I think you know I get it in. But it's just something about that 40s, that 50s fashion, the way brothers used to put it together. Is that okay? Because it's kind of my style.
It's more than okay, because more than fashion, it is about your style.
Yeah, okay.
It's about owning your style and how you show up in the world.
Thank you.
Now, I've been heard to say on occasions that Fashion and I had to divorce Fashion, but we're good friends. We still good friends. But you know, my style, we were flirting with each other.
Yeah.
Style was like, hey, let me take you out to dinner. Let me take you to a movie. And then, after a couple of winks and drinks, we had to go ahead and I had to marry my style. Had to marry my style, but Fashion and I are still friends.
See, someone was on the line until you said you was married, and you saw they jumped off the line like that. See, you could have saved that little detail. Let the people
calm back.
Let them have their own imagery, because in their mind they said before Dapper D get that number. Hey, y'all already got her social media, got all that info already, so I don't beat y'all to it. Your boy don't mess around. But yeah, Lady Michelle, it's just something like I feel like those people like myself, we're allowed to have pockets. And I always say it's okay for us to be different, because if everyone walked around rocking the same gear, looking the same way, then there would be no individuality. There would be no standout.
Stepford people.
Yeah. So.
And actually, I think that's what they was trying to create in the first place. You seen the movie. They wanted us all. Oh, I need you all to wear this type of suit and wear your hair. Oh, I can't quite get your hair like this. I need you to assimilate and look just like this so that I can accept you just how you are. You guys all have to dress alike.
Yeah.
But we have our own style, and our style is our fabric identity.
Yes, ma'am.
And how
like
you
that.
play it with. If you decided to come in today with a jacket with tails, I would have just tipped my hat to you and say, you go.
Don't give me any ideas.
You do it. Go on with yourself.
I'm going to start calling it Fashionable Friday.
All right. All right then.
Because she said it's Lady Michelle. Who's going to argue?
Oh my goodness, this has been fun, y'all. Yes, I want you to go ahead, Miss Michelle. Close on up for us. Give us that last bit of info. And tell us how we can just keep up with you, other than you coming back, Eric. We gotta have you back once a month.
Bring it back.
You can go to my website, stylistmichellewashington.com. You can find me on anywhere you listen to your podcast. My podcast is called The Color of Fashion. Until then, stay stylish, stay informed, and stay tuned to KAZI. And as I like to say, a smile smile is always in style.
All right.
Keep it fashionable.
Yes, girl. Yes. Wow.
Hey, Rochelle, you.
Well, here's another one of my country songs. This is Tanner Adele. Don't be thinking. We got plenty.
Oh, we out here.
And we out here.
Yeah.
Even Hootie ain't Hootie no more. He one of the hottest. Darius Rucker's one of the hottest country.
Yes.
Oh my God, they taking over the world.
Yeah, he had it.
All right, you are tuned in to the Morning Grind right here on KAZI Austin 88.7 FM. We're streaming all over the world on KAZIFM.org. I see the West Coast has woke up. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
Hey, we still out there driving around. Can you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, for those that are out in those streets, I don't have much to report. The only incident is Kovar Road, direction both ways. That road is closed due to flooding. That's Kovar Road. That's FM 535 to Zimmer Hansel Road. That's it, Ms. Marlah. That's a smooth commute.
Hey, we do have guests in the house, huh?
Yes, we do. So we're gonna switch up to an artistic flow, which is right down your alley. And if I told you that we had a collabo in the building, we're not talking about you and I. We're talking about a gentleman from Houston, a gentleman from Austin. They came together, and in this collaboration, we getting into some serious artistic expression. And then, of course, we have their producer, the real R. The R is there, and Rakim, don't get mad, bro. I was just trying to make him smile. Hey. We got you.
I love being a producer.
We got the R. So, gentlemen, if we could do a little quick introduction of yourselves on the mic and
roll call, mic check. Here's Robert Hodge from Houston. Honored to be in Austin, hanging out with my guy Tim and the R, man. So I'm happy to be here this morning.
Okay.
Thank you. Awesome.
I'm Tim. I've been in Austin since 1974.
Whew. All right.
As mentioned, I'm Russell Gonzalez, the R.
The R.
So, gentlemen, we talked previously, and there maybe someone missed us. So I'd like to start back from the beginning. So, Russell, you had a vision. You had some thoughts. How did this come together? How did you decide to mix rice and beans? How did we get there?
I did. I've been friends with Robert and Tim for a little bit of time now. I would pass their work in the lobby of the building that I live in, and every day I would kind of just look at these pieces and say, these two need to work together, And so once I started talking about it, they were both on board. They were both aware of one another, and it took a little time, a little planning, but once we hit the go button, that's just it was magic. Things just happened really well, and everything flowed, and the result's been phenomenal.
Before we get to the gentlemen, the artists, what's better, Austin or Houston? Come on, Russell. Say it. Wait, say it, Russell. Go ahead, Russell.
You know what? I like Austin in small
Austin
doses.
Are we talking
I like it.
Old Austin and new Austin.
Yeah. He said since the 70s.
Yeah, I really love Houston. I've grown to love it even more.
Yeah.
And Austin I used to be a big fan of Austin. These days, I love coming here, spending time here in short blips and doses. Mm-hmm. I get my fix and then I go back home, and so that's a hard question, but home is where I am. So Houston, I'd have to go with Houston. I can't let H-Town down.
I've lived in them both.
I love Houston. Yeah, I do love Houston. I almost moved to Houston.
Oh,
but the loan for the house came through, so I ended up staying.
And that's how we kept her.
Exactly. That's how
we almost lost her.
That don't count. That means her heart is in Houston.
Hey, hold
I
on
already
now.
found a job, and then for for a black artist, I felt like that was close as I was gonna get to Atlanta. You know, and they were telling me here, no, you need to stay. We're bringing Hollywood and everything here.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting,
Yeah.
but
Well, they surpassed third largest city in America. I mean, it's kind of legit. They took it from. This is where I make her mad. They took it from Chicago. They used to be number 3, but they ain't no more.
Chicago was second.
Yep.
That's my home though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where she from.
That's why
Chicago.
I love Houston, because it remind Houston
It's
to
a
me.
city.
Yeah, it's almost like. It's like a country Chicago. Because all the Chicagoans are from the South anyway. That's why we got this kind of weird little accent going on.
Yep.
You know, and so that's why I love Houston.
I was born and raised in Houston, so I spent most of my youth there, and I've been a lot of places for extended periods of time. I've been in New York for a while, LA. Always, I come back to Houston, and that's just where it's at. That's where my family's at, so it's home. So
Robert Hodge, Tim Kerr. Robert, I'm gonna let you take it to the rim. You're gonna get the alley-oop, and then I want to post Tim up in the corner so he can shoot that corner 3. So I did there, Mr. Kerr, because the last name. It's just I gotta get a basketball reference. So, Mr. Hodge, brother, first of all, how'd you get into art? Because Russell said your stuff was in the building he lived in. Yeah. Did your mama own that building?
That's really dope. I wish.
Okay, then that's how widespread. Tell us the journey, how you got to that point that you could have pieces in his domicile.
Yeah. I think for most artists, it's a lifetime thing. I was in kindergarten knowing I wanted to be an artist. I mean, it was always there, and I tried to do other things to avoid it. Sometimes you're not sure where that journey can take you.
Yes.
Because, where you come from any family really, they think about sustainability. They think about how can you live and survive and thrive. And so, but it's been there my whole life, man. I just kept with it and stayed through the journey, man. And I got into Russell's building. I don't know at that point. I don't know how I got in. I know we talked to him.
Well, I left a big part out. I curate the lobby.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But listen, I've been knowing Tim's work for forever. So it's a little edited Russell story. Tim didn't know who the hell I was. I knew who he was, and I wasn't sure if he wasn't going to want to collaborate with me because the generational gap. This guy's iconic.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I'm not even. I was talking like this last time.
Yeah.
That he's here today to talk.
No, you said it last time. Hopefully, he was able to get the clip that we have. We'll try to clip this one too. You said that you met your idol.
Yeah,
you met a gentleman that you aspired to be. You appreciated his works, and then you got a chance to do this. We're gonna get to Tim. So I gotta know. Bro, you sweating. Your hands all clammy. You look like you're still shaking right now. Now that you get to work to the OG triple fat OG.
Yeah. We family now, man. We all family.
But did you feel a little pressure? Like, man, this ain't gonna be good enough. No, this ain't gonna be good. Like, did you feel like, man, Tim gotta love me. He gotta love me. Did you feel any pressure?
I didn't until I started working with Tim in the studio, and I saw how prolific he was. Like, he comes in and gets busy.
What?
So I'm not gonna let this guy outwork me. I put in my work too, and I think just the way we work naturally, it just creates a lot of work because it's a lot of innovation, a lot of not really second guessing. We're just making things, and we didn't have a lot of reserve on what we couldn't do and what we didn't like. We just keep going and make edits. So it made some really organic, beautiful work.
All right, Tim. That was Robert Hodge. This is Tim Kerr, everybody. Austin's own, the better city. I don't know what Robert and Russell. That's what's wrong. The names start with the R. They are crazy. So Austin's own Tim. You said you came here in the 70s. So could you tell us where you're from, where you started at, and then what brought you to this town, and then lastly, what keeps you in this town?
I'm from Lake Jackson, Texas, which is about 40 minutes south of Galveston, and about 40 minutes from Houston, too. We used to go there all the time, and came up here to go to college because at that point in time, especially in Texas, if you were into anything other than being a banker and football, and you were into art or music or things like that, Austin was where you came if you wanted to stay in Texas. So I came up here with Beth, my wife now, and we just never left. Like we early on, we talked about going to California. Beth was really worried because I have so many records, how we were going to move all the vinyl back then. And other than that, we just kind of ended up staying and worked. Both of us worked at UT. She was a fine arts theater dance librarian at the last, and I just worked all the time at the libraries through all the bands and all the recordings and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Tim, we got this young buck. He said there was a little bit. Was you even born in the 70s, Mr. Hodge? So you know nothing about
late.
Late.
I'm an 80s baby.
Okay. So then again.
But see, age has nothing to do with it.
Well, that's what I was gonna.
And that's just the way. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've met kids that act like my older brothers. I've met people that are in their 70s that act like they're 14 years old.
Yeah.
So there's no point, and it has. And it's not that I'm scared. I'm 67. I'll be 68 when in March 11th. I'll be 68. I don't really care about age. It doesn't have anything to. It's what's inside and the person.
He was scoping out places to skate when we pulled
right
in
now.
here.
Hey, man,
I
got a board, Tim. I just don't have it with me. I didn't know.
But that's what I was saying.
Place right there.
Inspiration here. Not only
let's
not
get
only
together and have a
artistic
session.
skill, but like the way he lives his life. Again, it's not about age. I just see him do what he wants to do, and so I often wonder, like, man, what would I be like, in my 60s as a creative, and like I get to see an example that I can grow and be better. Like I'm still skateboarding, still waking up, making a lot of work, traveling the country, the world, making art. It's inspiring, and you don't have to stop. I'm not stopping until I drop. So I mean, I think he lives the same motto. So man, again, I appreciate that.
That's what my question was. And Tim, by the way, you're about to get bombasted in your inbox from me because now I want to skate with you. Last time we talked, Robert was saying how you just a down dude, and now I'm curious, since you've been able to bring it through the decades, how do you keep that ear to the street? Like, what makes, to your point, what makes it generational in that, universal in that you catch his eye and you can catch other people's eye? How do you stay on top of your grind?
Just staying wide open. You just like. If you see something that's interesting or something that you want to make a statement about or talk about, and you see something happening, listen, look and watch and listen, and it's that. It's like, there's so many people that literally, their high school touchdown pass is either that or it's something that happened in the 70s or the 80s, or like you hear a lot of people about Old Austin, which Old Austin was totally different than what it is now. Yeah. And in a way, it was better because there was a lot more kind of openness and stuff. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just like a lot of the pockets of the creatives or the creative people that were all living here are pretty much gone now because nobody can afford it and stuff. So it's just, I don't know. It's like it's stay open and like, watch for things and do things. I don't know how to explain it. Other than
Tim paints every day. He plays music every day. He's out. He's out there. He's staying active and he's on the scene. So that's one of the ways I would, from myself. That's how I keep. And
also, I realized the trouble with me, and that's why I'm trying to stay quiet. And they both know. Once you get going with me, I start telling all these crazy stories and all this kind of stuff. But what I was trying to get at was, it's amazing to me that people stop at certain times. Like something happens to them, and that's that. Because why? Like that's the best thing that's ever going to happen to me. That's the most depressing thing to me ever to hear that. Because it's, I hope I haven't seen the best thing yet. And there's so much crazy stuff that I've done and been in and been part of and all that. But once again, I for all of that, I hope I haven't seen the best thing yet.
It sounds like you stay hungry, Tim, and I'm just kind of curious, were you raised that way?
I stay alive, not hungry. Stay alive.
That's it. You're living life. You're not just existing.
That's exactly it. Time was now.
Yes.
So you guys are going to have No Kings But Us.
Yep.
And Hodge Kerr as the collabo is. I think y'all went alphabetical order there, or did y'all arm wrestle for it? Whose name goes first? I was trying to figure that out.
Probably.
sound good either way to me. So.
Yeah, it does. It does.
The best compliment we got was some reporter came in there in Houston and was looking at the stuff and just went, "Well, it just looks like the same artist."
Wow.
So, yeah. So
That's
Wow.
a good thing.
Yeah.
That's when it's a great collabo. When the synchronicity is there.
Yeah.
I like that. So it's a collaboration. I get this from BladfordArtMuseum.org for Hodge Kerr. It's a collaboration between Houston-based artist and impresario Robert Hodge and Austin-based musician and artist, better city, Tim Kerr. Individually, are the artists getting mad, Miss Marlah? I'm trying to get them mad. Tim got
we
me.
love Texas in general, man. So
Okay.
it's all good. It's
The
Texas
peace
stuff.
guy came in. But so this is individually, their work is steeped in a rich history between music and pop culture, and they share a deep interest in racial equality and human rights. For those who joined us late, this is the collabo of Robert Hodge and Tim Kerr. With mutual admiration, and those who are listening can already see that, and converging interests from color palette to messaging to medium, they have come together to entwine a creative vision. Now, I gotta know though, we're gonna hit y'all with the hard stuff.
Let's go.
What happens when there isn't a merging of the vision? Has that happened? How do y'all get to that point? If there's I'm thinking this, do you really have to hold and say, nah, I want this, let's do this, well, okay, I see what you're saying.
Fight.
Yeah, fight.
I'm sorry.
No. We got two ways. Either be at Tep and talk or Russell be the messenger in between. Robert.
Tim has said.
Yeah, he said, take that off. No, I'm just joking. No. I think I'm a printmaker too, so I got a backup. So when Tim covers my stuff up, I just wait till he leaves and I put it back. So I got multiple copies. So I'm always good. Now Tim, on the other hand, he can't. I don't know. He does that. So I got my backup. I got 5 or 6 variations of something I like.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. You covered it up, cool. He leaves, like, boom, back in there.
Yeah.
So we good.
Yep.
So Tim will tell you what he does.
We talk. I mean, I'll say can we there's one with, they call him Otha Turner, but his real name is Othar, and he's the last of he's passed now. His niece does the fife and drum stuff now, but he's the last of the Black Civil War fife and drum corps people, and he learned from a Civil War guy how to make them, and when he was a little bitty kid and stuff. And so one of the paintings is that, and I don't think really Russell or Robert knew who Otha Turner was.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got this one piece and it had Black Civil War guys on the corners of it and stuff, the first thing in my mind was, Otha Turner. And so I put Otha Turner on there, and I write a lot of stuff and wrote a bunch of things. And when I sent it to Robert, a photo of it going, okay, well, here's what I did kind of thing. He was just like, oh man, I got a bunch of ideas. And I was like, I thought, okay, we're going to turn this into a broader subject instead of being.
Yeah.
So, because my whole thing is to get people to look these people up and celebrate them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a lot of people don't really know who this person is or what. And I wrote him back and I just said, can we kind of keep this one Otha? And not necessarily don't touch anything I did, but stay on that subject kind of thing. And I didn't hear from him.
He ghosted.
Well, I didn't hear from him for about an hour or two, and then he wrote back and went, "This is fire." And I realized, okay, he must have looked it up and then realized what it was.
Yeah. That's cool.
Because I like to interconnect all of these people. So when Tim makes things, I make things. I like to show how we all are connected, how that guy's connected to somebody modern.
Yeah.
And so that's what he means. I kind of open it up sometimes to a bigger process of how the lineage of music and politicians. So what we're talking about is a lineage. It's people that that still are representing that kind of idea today. But the good thing is, like I said, I'm always learning something. I'm either showing him something new with his slang or whatever it is, and then I'm always learning back from him. So we're always in session of class. It's like, I knew who that was. And so again, there's always educational. It's history there. It's entertainment. It's composition. It's color. So you get all these things from the paintings.
Well, it's also staying open. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
It's like,
I was given an advice one time from a professor, and he was like, to be successful and to really go somewhere, you have to constantly take on a learning for life type of attitude.
Absolutely.
And because even if you're a doctor, I'm sorry. Science changes every few years, so you have to constantly elevate yourself in your education. And keeping that constant, I learned something every day, is a beautiful thing. My grandmother used to say, well, if you didn't learn anything each day, you have just wasted a day.
Exactly.
You know, and I think when you constantly go through a mental where you're constantly going to be learning something, it's
I mean,
like
think about the doctors. It's called a practice.
Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, no, I'm always in student mode. I mean, I'm never like I'm a master. I'm always like, okay, I mastered this technique, and now I'm moving on to something else. So,
in a way, we're all student teachers. Is what I always think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because people literally like get influenced by, somebody can see your purple dress today and go buy that. You just influenced somebody and you didn't even realize that.
Right.
So that's how I always look at it, as your student teachers all
There
the
you
time.
go.
So, while we're talking about this, I listened to the show last time. I wasn't able to come. It's a long story, but anyway, I heard y'all talking about the mural on Stubbs. And since we're talking about this, I want to say something about that, because when they had me do it, they wanted to do Texas music. And when they say Texas music, they mean like Joe Ely, Butch Hancock, Alejandra, which that's Texas, but you're leaving off Archie Bell and the Drells. There's so much stuff. Ornette Coleman. There's so much stuff you're leaving off.
Yes.
And so I basically told him, like, well, I've got a lot of friends that could use this money, and I really don't want to add to that conversation. But if you want to do people that nobody really knows about from here, sure, let's do that. So that's what that mural is. So people, and there's people like Oscar Moore. Oscar Moore was Nat King Cole's guitar player. He won all these frickin' Downbeat awards. Nobody talks about him. You hear Stevie Ray Vaughan. You don't hear Oscar Moore kind of thing.
Exactly.
And there's a woman, Arizona Drains, literally when she came to the blind school in the late 1800s, and when she was a baby, she learned how to play the piano when she was 5. Got really, really good. And when the spirit overcame her, she would literally play with her elbows and just go like Jerry Lee Lewis kind of style. And she's the very first piano on a gospel record. And Sister Rosetta Tharpe used to go see her when she was a kid.
Wow.
So it's just, and Austin, people don't really, nobody, And the other thing about that, because I remember some woman saying something about, putting Austin stuff out for people to see, or, the importance of doing that kind of type thing. I write a lot of stuff, and when you come to see this, you'll see Robert does too. And when I'm doing paintings, I'll write on them and stuff. And 4 of the people that are in this painting, maybe 3, definitely 4, are all from Anderson High School.
Oh, wow.
Anderson High School didn't integrate until 73 or 70, somewhere around in there, which is crazy.
Yep.
And they put all the stuff in storage from the history of the Black Anderson High, which is amazing to me.
Big ups to Carver
Museum. You didn't have like some kind of something for this history of like that. So I write, like, and they paid me to put that up there. I'm writing.
There you go.
So there was a black homeless woman behind me while I was painting this thing and writing. And I swear, I've told these guys the story before. As soon as I finish the sentence and they put it all in storage, I hear her behind me going, I just went, if this gets covered up tonight, I don't care. That's the best validation ever. So, but it's still up. So people who live here, go see it if you want to go see it and read about a lot of history here. So.
There you go. And big ups to Carver Museum, because they have a wonderful exhibit
I've
for
seen
Anderson,
that,
and I was like, wow, amazed when you hear the story. So yes.
So we are going to tell a little bit about this idea. So No Kings But Us. That's going to be from May 20th to not May 20th, but this is the vision is the reopening. What's the idea for those who don't know? No Kings But Us.
Yeah, I guess I tell my version. I mean, it's this thing that we all carry. It's an attitude. It's a silent confidence. It's something that helps you navigate the world. So, no kings, but it's kind of a mantra. You can look in the mirror and carry this energy again, just to navigate the world and survive and thrive. And so, for me, I feel like this is inner king. We all have it, and we share information about people that really have changed the landscape of the country through music, through politics, activism. So yeah, for me, that's why I get like No Kings But Us. It's
beautiful.
It's just something to tell yourself,
And it's not just us; it's all of us.
Yeah.
So, but this is the reopening. Last time we were here, February 12th, I believe. We opened that evening. Was it January? Yes, January 12th. There you go, January.
Good job.
3 to 4 days later, the gallery caught on fire.
Oh my God!
And that's how hot the artwork was.
Yeah, right. It was on.
And then it started sparking.
Well, I do have someone on the line, and they had a question. Happy Friday! You're on the morning grind.
Happy Friday. There's your Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Okay, so who did you say that Sister Rosetta Tharpe used to come and play the piano with her?
Oh, sorry, he didn't have the headphones.
Okay.
The question, could you restate the question? He didn't have headphones.
Yeah. Who did Sister Rosetta Tharpe come see play the piano here in Austin with her elbows?
Arizona Drains. And the cool thing about it is everybody talks about, and Sister Rosetta Tharpe's really amazing. And there's a thing on YouTube. If you watch Let It Rain, you'll be smiling for a week after you watch that thing. Everybody says she's the queen or the main person for rock and roll. Because of her rhythm and the way her beat that she had. Arizona Drains had a really distinct rhythm and beat, and she used to go see Arizona Drains when she was a kid, so it's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. No, that rhythm, that beat might be further back. So,
wow.
Right. So that's what I'm calling and asking, because I'm also a historian, a music historian here in town, and I spend a lot of time talking about that. And so what you just told me right now, it's a light bulb moment for me, which is awesome.
Cool.
So thank you.
Cool. Well, there you go.
Student teacher. Not only but listen, check this out, though. Y'all know who Hep Cat is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? So that means that rock and roll and rap music were born in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, could be. Who knows?
It goes further back than that.
You always trying to start.
It ain't Houston. I should have kept that to myself.
The headphones.
But it's a huge deal what you're just saying there, because it's right. Like Sister Rosetta Tharpe, so we do carry those rhythms with us when we go to create our music and our influences and everything.
That's right.
And nobody gives Hep Cat credit for inventing rap and the term rock and roll and the term R&B.
Come on.
Rhythm and blues. So that means that both of those genres were firmed up and started in Austin, Texas.
Right here in Austin. Yes.
So thank you for that little tidbit. I'm super excited. I'm going to be digging into that a whole lot more.
She said thank you for that. She's going to be digging into that a lot more.
Come to the show tonight.
That's amazing. I'm so proud to be in Austin right now.
So
I already was, and I understood the music history here pretty well. But that's a cool little jewel that you just dropped there for us, and thank you for acknowledging it. I heard you say you're a white guy. You
wouldn't know anything about that now, would you?
No, not a thing.
Well, we hope you can make it
and a
tonight.
black woman at the same time.
There
Some
you
folks
go.
have a hard time with it, but I'm both.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, man. Austin is the live music capital of the world. We gotta be better ambassadors.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Love to love you,
Thank you so much
girlfriend.
for your work. Love you. Have a good day, y'all.
hey, so we have to close out. So No Kings But Us, the reopening. The first was from January 12th to the 24th. We have the reopening. That's going to be tonight from 7 to 10. The new Big Medium, 4201 South Congress Avenue, number 323.
Yes.
For those that can come out. And we are 7 to 10 p.m. I just got to know, I already see I got to step up my hat game. We talked about that, Mr. Hodge. But so there's going to be some opportunities to mingle. You two will be there.
Absolutely.
The caller, Tim, if she wants to show up and pull your ear and talk a little more Austin music history, you're open to that. And then big time Houston Hodge, you'll make some time to stop talking Astros and you can get down with the.
There's going to be some live music as well.
It's going to be a big musical celebration at 7 o'clock. So we're not going to wait. We're
Hey, be on time, people.
How awesome!
Because it's kind of to celebrate the reopening of this thing, and then we only lost one painting. We were unbelievably lucky.
I was wondering about that.
Wow.
So this is kind of it's like a Pharaoh Sanders-y type kind of piece, and it's
it's called Freedom, and everybody
that comes is in the band. So
all right, y'all heard it. They said APT, not HPT, not Houston people time. Be there on Austin people time. That's one time, Mr. Hodge, just so you know.
I'm CP time. I'm supposed to be at 7:15.
I was throwing some last minute Houston shade.
Does that mean Christian people? I'm sorry.
Gentlemen,
gotta go.
This was great. We're gonna get to some sponsors. Take a quick break. We'll do some social media. We'll do a social media pick for those that can come out. Make sure you guys understand this will be a great opportunity for you guys to see this collaboration. Doesn't matter what generation, what background. This is gonna have crossover variations. I mean, this is gonna be amazing.
Entertain,
we'll be back.
Empower the morning grind.
Artist is our own Stacey Shay.
Yep. I know her. I want all y'all listeners know I know that lady. I know her.
Since we've been, just celebrating all our artists and things, you know what I'm saying?
I caught her live before.
The poetry and all that. And then guess what? We also have an awesome poet right on the phone with us.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Spoken word artist, baby. Yes. And, it's a little difference. I try to explain sometimes. See, a poet, I can just be writing, and I might read from my poetry book, my poem. But a spoken word artist, they're going to bring that poem to life for you. You understand what I'm saying? It's a little different.
Yes.
It is animated. It is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It is thought-provoking. You want to watch it. Yes.
You make it sound like you was about to drop some... Wow. I mean, you just made it sound like you don't even want to go to the poet. Just bring in a spoken word. We'll just do that.
Well, that's because I carry that title myself. Woo! Good morning. Are you there with us?
Man, I need to have you do all of my introductions.
She got us excited. Wow. If they weren't awake, they are now.
I'm on fire.
They are ready. People gonna tell him freestyle now. They're gonna be like, we don't want to know about him. Just get to what he could do.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listening audience?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Andre. My stage name is SC Says. I'm a spoken word artist living here in Austin, Texas. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and we're just as excited. Now, I gotta get some of your stuff so I can play it on the radio now.
Yes,
I like to have a little open mic sometimes. I played Love Robinson. I don't know if you remember her from the Neo Soldiers from back in the day, and so.
Oh, of course.
The phone lines always light up
every time I play her black. Yes, oh my God, the phone lines. And then I played a little bit of Smokey Robinson. So tell us about. Tell us about your journey through poetry.
So I started out as a theater kid. I actually moved to Austin to pursue film acting, and a friend of mine invited me to the Austin Poetry Slam one night, and I'll never forget that night. It was powerful. There were just so many people getting on stage and being willing to talk about things that we don't talk about in our everyday lives. Talking about things like depression or divorce or losing family members. It was healing in a way that I didn't know that I needed. And so I sat in that audience for 6 months, and one day I just got the itch to start putting some of my story on the page, and
got that itch.
Got the courage to go up there and share it one day.
Yes.
And then I've been doing that ever since.
And it's history. Wow. So you got something coming up, don't you?
I do. So one of my favorite things is helping other people find their voice and getting their story on the page and hopefully on the stage. And so I'm going to be leading a free workshop at the Spicewood Public Library. It's going to be from 1 to 2 this Sunday. And there's no experience needed. You can come through. You have no idea what spoken word poetry is. That's great. Just come through ready to put some of your story on the page. And I'm going to give you some ideas, some writing prompts, some time to create. And was safe to share some of your story with hopefully some other people throughout Austin.
That's beautiful that you're doing this, sharing your gift. Give us that location one more time. It kind of came in a little shaky.
Absolutely. That's going to be at the Spicewood location, the Austin Public Library.
Yes. I love that Austin libraries, they'll be open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm a library nerd, so, I can go on a Sunday.
Libraries are amazing.
Yeah,
I was explaining to my wife how, as a kid, and those were different times, Mom would just drop us off.
Yes.
And so there's the children's centers down there. That was the daycare. Like, that was the spot to be. And to this day, I still have a certain section of the Dewey Decimal System memorized. But I carry all that knowledge forward, and it impresses her when I can still use that to this day about what I was reading. It's dogs.
Right.
But I probably should have been a veterinarian. 636.7. But
what's the times again on that workshop?
Yeah, what times?
100.
Oh man, I love this. It's going to be from 1 to 2 p.m. on Sunday,
right. Awesome.
February 25th.
Gotcha.
And it's called Slam Poetry Workshop. And the Spicewood, they have it on their website.
Spicewood.
Yes, the Spicewood branch has it on the Austin Public Library has it, and when you click on Spicewood Springs branch,
right,
it'll have the link to the Slam Poetry Workshop.
Awesome.
This Sunday.
Wow.
Yes, and there are limited seats, and so if you're kind of on the fence, just go ahead and grab a reservation because I think we only have like 30 or so spots.
Okay, we can register right online.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Andre, you go a long way from Andre Bradford to SC, and it's an acronym. What does it stand for?
So, the first time I ever heard of slam poem, I was at the University of Southern California, and we usually abbreviate that to SC. And when I finally got the courage to go and share some of my work, it seemed like everybody had a stage name, and I couldn't think of anything. And so I found the first place that I'd ever heard a poem, and I was like, well, it can't just be SC. That doesn't make any sense. And then I added says to the end of it for a little bit of alliteration, thinking I was being clever.
Now, for everybody...
Yeah.
Sorry, wow. I cut you there. I want people to know, for those who don't know about SC, I said I was gonna go with the government, so that's why I laughed, because I was about to mess that up. I mean, we're gonna stay with the stage name. He is a 2-time Austin Poetry Slam champion.
Yes.
The 2022 Texas Grand Slam champion.
Come on.
And is the author of the poetry collection Golden Brown Skin. Man, you're humble, SC. You're humble out there.
I know. That's why I'm like, come on now. Yeah, you can be, but that's okay. It's a beautiful thing being humble. It's a beautiful thing. Let us brag on you. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't mind doing it.
But you know,
that's great energy to it. So
well, you know what though? I don't mean to like cut our time and do all of that, because we are kind of cut for time. But you got to spit a little bit of something. I ain't gonna put it on you like a slam. You got to do it in 2.2 minutes.
Do it. Go and take a swig. Let me filibusters. You can take a swig of water right quick. Wet up them vocals, and then
just a little something. You got to.
This would be great.
All right, I got it.
Okay.
How do you explain a sneeze to someone who's never had one? Well, it's like when you smell something, doesn't know how to handle it, so it retaliates. Or you ever get an itch in a weird place you couldn't reach? The more you try to go, the more it itches. So you start to convulse and shake in weird ways until it's satisfied. Dictionary says a sneeze is when you make an involuntary explosion of air through the nose and mouth with irritation of one's nostrils. But if you've never sneezed before, that doesn't quite capture the unique feeling of the almost painful need to get the stuff out of your face. I once sneezed on a stranger, and the look of horror she gave me still haunts me to this day. And it wasn't even my fault. I turned to the side to sneeze like a decent human being, and she just happened to speed walk into it. I think we don't have a great way to explain a sneeze, because everyone has already experienced it by the time we know the word for it. How do you explain racism to someone who hasn't experienced it? Well, it's like when someone looks at you, presumes to know your story without ever once saying a word to you, or listening to you, or looking at you. It's like when someone gets an itch, in the back of their minds is the skin you're wearing is so 2014 or 1968 or 1861 is worth a retweet, but not equality. It's still upset about the whole slavery thing. And the only way to alleviate the itch is to call you boy or thug or target, or to pretend your struggle to survive doesn't exist. And so to help those who haven't experienced it understand just how common this still is, for the duration of this poem, I will replace the word racism with the word sneeze. I was 15 when I experienced sneezing for the first time. I was meeting my girlfriend's parents, and her father looked me in my eyes and said, "I don't want you dating my daughter." He tried to blame it on other people sneezing, that he was just looking out for our safety. But that's the thing about sneezing. Once you see it, you can always tell when someone's trying hard to hold it in. I used to believe that sneezing, which is the thing you read about in textbooks, can never happen nowadays. So it was a little jarring when someone sneezed in my face. No blessing or apology, just a shrug that said I shouldn't be so charred cedar, so pitch black pollen, so dark brown dust. Since that day, I watched people sneeze openly and behind closed lips, and I can assure you, no one looks appealing when they're sneezing. Looks honorable with both eyes closed, and we've seen it made it respectable to sneeze behind the same hands that shake our own, assuring us there's no sneezing problem. Like for people of color, it isn't allergy season all year round that this country could just Benadryl its way to equality. As if we were the ones struggling to keep breathing drowsy after being prescribed Twitter apologies. Isn't it funny how every sneeze can sound unique, but we also know when it's happening? Like we've been speaking sneeze our whole lives, reading it in nationalism or far-right shirt sleeves. So sneezing is just a part of our history. Chuckling at all the funny ways people try to stop it from happening, telling us their Civil War monuments aren't about sneezing. That would be silly. No, the monuments embody a cure. Getting rid of all the irritants would be the best way to stop all this sneezing, wouldn't it? And in response, we all close our eyes, open our Instagram feed, posting a black box to show just how angry we are at all this sneezing and the world keeps turning. Like this is all just ordinary. Like it was as natural as... Thank you.
Yes.
Wait.
I love that.
Wait.
I love that.
SC, come on.
Yes. Oh my God. SC said.
Delivered.
Yes. And he will be having a spoken word artist workshop down at the Spicewood Library. You can go right on.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. February 25th from 1 to 2. Oh my God, you are awesome. And I thank you for sharing your gift. Yes.
Thank you all so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And for those, I want to make sure everyone knows, gratis y abierto al público.
That's my buddy.
It is free and open to the public. I want to make sure, but you got to register. You got to register for the event.
All right, man. Andre, thank you so much, man. And I'll be looking for some of your work.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow. I mean, if they want a fan of poetry at the start, they are now.
Come on now.
People are shook at their foundation now and say,
he said,
why did I miss this?
He said, instead of racism, I'm going to use the word sneeze. That was so awesome.
He said, puff of air. We need to get rid of the irritants.
How awesome. Oh, my God. Give us some last positive words before we end Dapper.
So,
Doug.
I like that we had Lady Michelle coming through earlier. And look, I know that there are pundits out there that will say, I don't like Black History Month. Here's what I could tell you. What celebrating what celebrating Black History Month does is it allows conversations to be had. Because if your circle is not diverse enough, I know mine is, and I have had numerous people come up to me in conversations, and that also means they're comfortable enough, and they say, hey, Douglas, I learned this. I did not know such and such did this. I did not know such and such invented that.
Come on.
And that's what we're trying to have, people, and that's why it needs to happen, because that's how we learn and grow. Ain't nobody out here trying to change or deliver a type of agenda to you. This is a great to have conversations.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, No, but it's a great time to have conversations because when people learn stuff, they generally are excited and they want to share it. And then that means now the conversations, they're like dominoes.
Yes.
So that's why we got to celebrate it.
That's
and
right.
just rail against something else. All right, stop waving your fist during Black History Month. Allow us to celebrate and have fun, and then you can wave your fist at other stuff later because there is a lot of knowledge being gained during this month.
Come on. And I'll start with healing. It's time to start healing. You can take all of the bad things from history and just dwell in it, into the negative, into, oh my God, I hate even being me. You can live your life like that, but that's not living. That's being depressed, and you might need to seek some help. And there is help out there. It is help out there with people that look just like you and that can help you start to love yourself. And then you'll be trying to celebrate Black history every day, because that's the purpose of celebrating in February, is to celebrate our culture. We have done so many beautiful things here, and we need to walk in our pride. You need to walk in understand how your family was a survival from a horrible traumatic thing, and they survived, and you are part of that survival. Now some of us, our people, have been here. We were here, we were indigenous. So we're gonna talk about that real history later, but for now I just want you to spread love. I need you to spread that love just like I spread African shea butter, baby, all over my body. This is Miss Marlah. Listen to the Morning Grind, and we out of here.
For KZI provided by City of Austin Development Services Department. Our code compliance team wants you to be safe and sound. Prepare your home for winter. Check that furnaces and boilers are working properly. Make sure your residence has functioning smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. And report suspected code violations to Austin 311. Find more seasonal safety tips at austintexas.gov/safe and sound.
Who is it?
Asthma.
Asthma?
That's right, asthma.
You must have the wrong house. Who's there?
West Nile virus. Can I come in?
No, you can't come in.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Yes.
Hello, it's Lyme disease.
I am not opening the door for Lyme disease.
I'll be back.
Who is it now?
$5 billion in property damage.
What do you want?
I'm just spreading the love, ma'am.
Go away.
When household pests are in your home, you never know what kind of health and property threats they're going to invite over. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the National Pest Management Association. Visit pestworld.org to become more aware of the serious threats common household pests like mice, roaches, and termites can pose to your health, your home, and your family.
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? What is vascular dementia, Lewy body, FTD, TBI, and CTE? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. I did too, and I learned. My wife Ginny developed dementia. I didn't know what to do or what was coming next. I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. I'm excited to offer you a free guide to understanding dementia. It's filled with facts about dementia, care planning, how doctors can help, and ways to keep your brain as healthy as possible. The Dementia Society of America is a national nonprofit, and we're ready to answer your questions. You want to live life to the fullest. I know that. Ginny did too, and I'm confident that we can help. Get your copy of the guide. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Now that it's over, there's no more use for guns and war. cost me a lifetime just to gain this sweet reward. Red streets of gold. Imagine somewhere where from the red goes on. Oh, my brother, please come with me. It's what I live for. A place where love will never cease. Willing to die for, yeah. Heaven is where I want to be. Hey.
There are instructions that we must follow to a T in order to reach them, and there is where I've got to be.
Red streets of gold.
Can you imagine?
Imagine somewhere where from the rain never goes on. Oh, my brother, please come with me.
It's what I live for. A place where love will never cease. Willing to die for. Heaven is where I want to be.
It's what I live for.
A place where love will never cease. Willing to die for. Heaven is where I want to be.
No more dying. Heaven's a place where there'll be no more crying.
And he's alive, counting those days when we'll be in the place.
88.7 The Voice is KAZI Austin, streaming online at kazifm.org.
The station with the best reputation. KAZI 88.7 FM.
Fans View here on KAZI.
It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom. Who bringing the noise? Go, baby, we bringing our toys. Separate men from the boys. Chopper be singing, she'll be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Tick, tick, boom.